Good morning, everyone. My name's Mackenzie, and I am one of Dr. Wageman's dental assistants, and I have the privilege of helping out with tooth talks, which is going to be our question number one. So I work with him at the office here in Apsley, which is where we are today, and also for the Smart Smiles office in Peterborough. So one thing that I know about Dr. Wageman is that he loves answering all your questions. So this is kind of a way that we're able to do it outside of the office. So what we've decided is that I am going to ask him a question that he doesn't know, so that it seems as though you're in here having an appointment and we're just kind of throwing it on him. So if you have any questions that you want asked and you're watching this live, feel free to type in the comments, or if you're watching it later on, feel free to comment then as well, because we want to make this a regular thing. So let's go find Dr. Jeremy. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Mackenzie. This must be Tooth Talks live time.
This is.
I'm a bit nervous.
Hi, Dr. Jeremy. So we have a question for you.
Okay.
So what does fluoride do, and why do you use it?
That's a big one. So is it okay if I take my mask off? I'll get you to step out.
Of course.
COVID times, but I want to be able to connect better. So fluoride, what is it and how do we use it? Okay, so if you were to buy fluoride at a health food aisle in a grocery store, it would probably be labeled as a micronutrient. Fluoride is an inorganic molecule, and it sort of comes from fluorine, which is right next to like chlorine on the periodic table of elements. And if you think about chlorine, what it does is highly reactive. But as soon as you make an ionic form of chlorine, like chloride, you can add it to sodium, and then you get like sodium chloride, which is table salt. And obviously salt is very useful in your body. You need to have a certain amount for your electrolytes. If you're a runner, you know, like it's important to make sure you have enough salt. So it doesn't mean because it's an ionic compound that it's going to be toxic, but you can have too much salt. Too much, you know, can be bad for your blood pressure. It can throw things off. So whenever you're talking about anything, there is an amount that can be toxic. And I think the big concern with fluoride is because it's been shown to have beneficial effects for kids to put it in the water, then it just gets like blasted out to everybody. And that's a decision that has to be made by the public, whether that's a good idea or not. And it's always a benefit versus cost analysis. But what is fluoride specifically, and why is it important for your teeth? Fluoride has a really cool property in that the fluoride molecule can swap out for an OH group called hydroxide in the crystal that the tooth is made out of. So we have hydroxyapatite, which is what your teeth are made out of, the enamel. And when you have fluoride in there, it becomes fluoroxyapatite. And the reason why that's super useful is that hydroxy group, that OH minus, is basically one half of water when water falls apart, which it does many times a second. Water is never just H2O. It's always OH minus and H plus, and then back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And when you have lots of the H pluses, they're charged and reactive particles, it's because that solution is considered an acid now. And there's lots of reasons why your mouth can be acidic. And if there's lots of these H pluses, it's going to combine with the OH negative in the hydroxyapatite. And when that happens, your tooth becomes soluble and you just lose the minerals. So maybe too much detail, but if there's a fluoride ion instead of the OH, it's less like water. And in chemistry, we say, you know, like dissolves like. And it's less likely to dissolve, and therefore it's less susceptible to the acid that might be in your food or from your stomach, or especially if you're eating some sugars, the bacteria will break that down and they create acid. And so we see that there's a big reduction, and it's measurable, in the rate of cavities because your teeth are more resistant to the acid. So the fluoride is an inorganic molecule that swaps with the part of your tooth that's like water and makes it less like water, and then more resistant to acid. And I think this is such a big question, and people have like so many questions about, like, is topical fluoride the same as fluoride in your water, and what if you're on well water, and it really bears some follow-up. So I think what we'll do with this question, it's one of the ones where we'll probably make a video that will go up on YouTube at some point. I can't promise when, but that will kind of flush it into more detail. And if you had any specific questions about fluoride, like we see lots of people asking questions like, you know, I have a little kid, is it appropriate to use fluoride toothpaste? How do I know how much fluoride is in my well water? Feel free to, like, type those questions in the comments on this video, and we'll make sure that we address them in the follow-up. Thanks, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to share this with somebody who is also concerned about fluoride. Thanks. Have a good one.